Our coverage in this news hour starts in Uganda. There, the main opposition presidential candidate has been arrested on election day. Kizza Besigye is now being released. He was detained a few hours ago by police in Kampala after making allegations of vote rigging. Well, his arrest was witnessed by our correspondent, Malcolm Webb, who joins me now. Malcolm, what happened? What did you see?
Well, people from Kizza Besigye's party, the FDC, called us and a small group of journalists and said that they, through leaked information, had been led to a private house in an upmarket housing area of the city that they said was a vote rigging centre. They said they'd surveyed it for some days and they'd seen vehicles coming and going and other evidence that led them to believe that vote rigging was going on inside there. When they arrived, they knocked on the gate. The people inside jumped over the back fence and then were apprehended by supporters of Besigye as they ran up the road. They were carrying handguns which were stamped with Uganda police markings. Besigye supporters disarmed them and brought them, also carrying handcuffs and wallets. There was also a police vehicle parked outside this building when we arrived. After that, uniformed police arrived and Besigye and his supporters demanded access to go inside the house, which they allege was a vote rigging centre. Police said that they couldn't, and after a standoff which lasted some time, Besigye was arrested by the most senior officer there, ordered his men to arrest Besigye, and we understand that he was taken to his home, which is in another suburb of Kampala, and then released. I should add, on Twitter, a member of the ruling party has said that it's a police call centre, and a police spokesperson has told us that they have a number of command posts in Nguru. So that's their side on it. But the FDC, the people from the opposition, allege that there was a vote rigging operation going on inside this building.
In terms of the general election as a whole, what's been the reaction of the election monitors, perhaps to this incident in isolation, but to the whole set up? Because I know that former President of Nigeria, Mr. Obasanjo, has said that, there are concerns.
They have. The election observers also from the EU said they're concerned about events on Monday when Besigye and his supporters were stopped from attending a rally. Police fired tear gas. Some of the supporters threw rocks. They also said they were concerned about issues regarding the voters' register. Opposition allege it's been tampered with and there's ghost voters, or in some places names have been added. We don't know, though, to what extent the observers are going to deem these things to be significant in terms of influencing the final result. Of course, people will be waiting some time for that because counting was delayed. Some people are still voting apparently right now, and about 15 polling stations will actually be open tomorrow because people failed to vote in those polling stations today following discrepancies with ballot papers or unrest in a couple of locations where tear gas was fired and voters clashed with police. So voting will be continuing tomorrow. That's what the Electoral Commission has said. So we won't be getting a result for some time yet.
OK, but what about Mr. Besigye's chances anyway before all of this? Because the current president, Mr. Museveni, I understand is likely, according to the polls, to get another term?
Opinion polls, which the ruling party point to, give Museveni slightly over the 50% that's required to win without a second round. They give Besigye about 30%. And Amama Mbabazi, Museveni's former prime minister, about 12 or 15% of the vote. But the opposition say these polls aren't credible. They say they've either been influenced or people have been polled and participated in a climate of fear. Here in the capital, there certainly seems to be overwhelming support for the opposition, but it's only about 15% of the population of Uganda that live in urban areas, so this election really will be decided by the other 85% who live in the villages. All sides claim that they have the strongest support base there, but that we won't know until we get a result, and of course if that result is deemed credible and free and fair.
Malcolm Webb, thank you very much indeed. A witness to the arrest of Uganda's opposition leader.